Hi, this is Mary Kay. Uh, I'm going to be demonstrating how to paint tulips with water droplets today. I'm going to be using Pebeo drawing gum and dilute shampoo. So first thing I did was I took this tulip off the internet and I traced it with water-soluble tracing paper onto a piece of 140-pound cold press paper. What I'm going to do right now is put Pebeo drawing gum, which is a masking fluid, on the little droplets of water. So first thing this is what you have to do. You don't have to. You can use a lousy brush and hope it doesn't work. But if you want to use your good brushes, and I have used my good brushes my entire career, I just put them in dilute shampoo first. And then I gently squish out the extra shampoo. Then I dip it into the masking fluid. I'm not going to put every one of these little droplets on from that picture. This one here kind of has a square bottom. I don't know why. So I'm not using much masking fluid. These here are on the edge. That's not a droplet. There's a little one. You can put as many as you want. I think that's enough to get the feel. Then you have to let your Pebeo dry. This is what I'll be using tomorrow in class. But what I've done here is I have drawn out a tulip and put on the Pebeo already, and it's dry. And I'm just going to do this card in these colors for this demonstration video. What I'm going to do right now, ooh, that's got yellow in it. Okay, that's fun. Is I'm going to wet the background. So I'm going to paint the background first. I couldn't find the picture that I traced this from this morning, so I spent hours looking on my computer because I updated my running software. Then I looked on the internet. So I've had this drawn out for about like 6 weeks, wanting to do this type of painting, a flower with water droplets. Okay, you can see where my background is because my brush has yellow in it. But this is a beautiful indigo background. So I'm going to just fill this in. Go right up next to this. So I'm just leaving the flower dry. This card that I'm working on doesn't have any leaves. We'll put the leaves in the bigger one. Oops, got a little rough there. Mistakes always make it look better. Not always, but often. And just looking at this, this corner's really dark, so I'm just going to add more indigo to this side. And if I have that much darkness on one side of the stem, I need to have on the other side. I like the areas that are not as dark now. While it's damp, I'm going to sign my name. I usually just do MKS Jolly or MK Jolly on cards because my whole signature takes a lot of room. That just flew out of my hair. Stop gardening. Okay, so these are pink tulips. I really need to dry this background before I start painting it, but I'm going to see what happens. I'm just so there's trying to carefully leave a little light area on that side of that petal. This is just permanent rose, so I haven't mixed any colors yet. It's been permanent rose. On the petals and pure indigo in the background. Keep stopping to look to see where the petals are highlighted. Okay, and this the stems are really kind of an orange. I think what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of this pink permanent rose and add just a tiny bit of yellow to it, and see, that is kind of an orange. I'm going to make my stem kind of an orange. I'm going to need some of this color up in the flower, so I will put it here at the base. While this is damp, the background, I'm just going to splatter some water onto it. I love these little flecks of light. They remind me of the droplets on the petals, so I can even not just splatter it randomly. I can actually just drop a little bit of water into certain spots. I don't want them all the same distance apart. Those should make watermarks. Now I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to start doing, I'm going to go a little bit darker pink. I'm going to add the tiniest bit of indigo into that. And I'm going to start to darken the parts of the petal that are behind. and this petal here is mostly dark on the middle of this petal. Trying to make it look round by having the color fade away. All right, now this petal is underneath that petal, so I actually need to make this side, I think, right in here a little darker. So I left it white, but it does need to be. And this can be a disappearing edge here. So now I'm going to add not more water, but less pigment, and just soften this edge. And now hopefully that looks like it's a round petal also. I think there'll be little up here where the petals do their little tippy things. I'm just going to add a couple just little darks up in there. Maybe some more. I don't know, more brush strokes. And this doesn't, it seems like it needs to be just a tiny bit green. So yellow and indigo will make a tiny bit of green. So far I've used only three colors. That's a good amount of colors to use. It has to be dry before you pull off your Pebeo. So I'm going to do a quick dry. I think when we do this in class, we'll paint the pink part of the flower first, then the background, because that way it can dry. The little droplets can dry while we're doing the background. It won't help on the droplets that are half on the Pebeo. Okay, get this without making a mess. And indigo's so staining. Okay, I'm gonna go with those. Now, the thing about the droplets is that there's shadow in the droplet and there's shadow underneath the droplet. So we just have to paint that with the same colors that we've used. There's not going to be any reflection that's going to be a different color than we've already used. So I'm going to start with this big droplet down here, and the droplet that I'm going to use as a idea for it is this one here, because it goes out halfway into the blue, but it's white, but there's reflection in the droplet. So this droplet here is going to have some pink, and it's going to have some of the blue from the background showing up too. So there's a little bit of that. And this one will have the same thing, but maybe not as much. That's weird. It's not taking the paint right there. Huh. Okay. Now, these other little droplets, they have, like I said, there is shadow in the droplets. It's kind of a bluey shadow though, isn't it? Or kind of, yeah, it kind of is. Kind of a bluey, I'm gonna go with a purpley shadow. So around the edge. So they're not perfectly white. They have shadowing. This one here is going over the edge of that. And then underneath the droplets on the petal, they're shadowed. They're making a little shadow. So you have to pick which side your light's coming from. I'm going to say it's coming from the top left. You can smooth the, if I've made a mistake putting on the Pebeo, I can sort of fix those now, make them rounder. What would this one do? This one would make a shadow here where it's touching this part of the petal. Okay, and then this is gonna have shadow. Shadow. And just kind of want to see if I need to do a little bit more to some of these. If I put a little bit of pink at the top and then they're not all perfectly round. That's kind of the beauty. That ends up this one here ends up sort of being the main attraction. Let's see, these two aren't doing much for me now. I'm tempted to just take that one out. And then this one, what would this one do? How can we make that look more like it's really a water droplet? Maybe more white. I'm trying to lift that out now, which is hard to do. I think I'm just gonna leave it. It does sort of bring your eye up into it. Okay, that's my demonstration on how to paint tulips with water droplets. Thanks for watching.